What's up, guys? And we're going to go over some Microsoft Teams features and functions. We're going to go over what you can do within Microsoft Teams and some baseline functionality within the application. We're going to go over what the application does at its core, some things that you can use it for, and then we're going to get into some of the chat and calling functionality that exists within the application. I got my PJs on. This is a late night video, but let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I am in Microsoft 365. I've logged into office.com here, and I'm going to go ahead and go into the Microsoft Teams application, which I do that by either clicking on Microsoft Teams here on the left side of the screen, or I can do it in the waffle and then click on Microsoft Teams, which in doing this, it will either prompt you to use the web or to open it in the desktop application. Both applications have similar functionality that I'm showing here. I just happen to be using the web, but these same things that we're going to cover here are going to be available within the desktop application as well, if that is what you choose to go for and how you wish to use the application. And so the baseline of this application and what you're able to do is within this platform is chat. You're able to collaborate on documents. You're able to integrate and utilize apps and workflows, either their third-party applications or Microsoft 365 applications, and you're able to incorporate workflows, whether those are external third-party workflows in an application similar to like a Zapier, or if you are using Microsoft Power Automate as part of the Power Platform. You're obviously able to utilize meetings, which is a big component of Microsoft Teams and how a lot of people have come to use it over the last couple years. And then you are able to make calls, which it does have a VoIP phone system within it that you can pay to have a calling plan, and you can dial out from your phone or desktop device and use for calling purposes. So Microsoft is building on Microsoft Teams for more and more capabilities, and I'm sure that this is only going to expand out through the Power Platform. So, which Teams itself is a platform, and it's a platform for communication. It's long been called a UX or a UI. It's a way to interact with the rest of the applications within your Microsoft environment. You can share files and data, you can manage tasks and collaborate on documents, you can collaborate with people both inside and outside your organization, and within Teams you can integrate with other applications and processes that you use on a day-to-day basis, whether they are internal or external to your environment. So we're going to start with chat, and so chat is the center of whatever you do within Microsoft Teams. And so you can have individual chats, you can have group chats, and you can have conversations within channels, which we're going to go over here in a second. And then once you're in a chat, you can send messages that include files, links, emojis, stickers, GIFs, and there's a bunch of different ways that you can chat with people within your teams or organization or outside of your organization. And so we're going to start by first showcasing a private chat. And so within a private chat, we'll go ahead. We are in this environment, so we're going to go over here and we're going to click on chat. So once you have clicked on chat, you'll want to click on this little notepad looking guy, which will create a new chat. And then from here, you would simply choose the name of the member or the email in which you are trying to communicate with. Let's see who all is in our environment. We'll choose Miriam. Once we choose Miriam, we will this will create a private chat with her, so we can say hi. And then from here, she'll be able to interact with us. It will actually show up on our recents. And if we want to keep her around as a pinned chat, we can hit the three dots and we can pin or add her to a favorite contact. So we'll go ahead and pin her. And so now if we were to create another chat, let's see who else is in our environment. Joanna, and we'll say one more person. Jory. So this would be a group chat, and we'll say group chat, And then you'll notice that this group chat is under my recents, but Miriam stays here under my pin chats because she is a recent. Now, if I wanted to, so let's say that this group gets pretty big, I can actually rename this chat and I can call it, choose a group name. So maybe this is a project that we're working on and we could call this project X. And then I can save it. So instead of it saying who is in the chat, maybe it was a lot of people, we can actually call it a project, and then you can use that group chat as the way to manage the chat. There's actually a better way to manage projects in chat, but this is one of the ways through private chatting that you're able to do that. Now, if you wanted to see who all was in the chat, you can see over here there is this little people over here that says how many people are actually here. I can click on that and it's actually going to show everyone who's here. So mod is myself. Then we see Joni and Johanna. We can actually add people or we can leave the chat altogether. Now within this chat, there's a couple different things that you can do here. So we'll just go from left to right all the way through. So this first one is a way to format the chat bar. So you notice that I hit chat, group chat, and it was just a one line. I hit enter and it actually sent it. But if I do this formatting, it's going to open up a lot more that I can do. So I could say hi, and then I could bold, everyone, and then I could italicize. How is it going? I can underline. I can, what is this, a strikeout? Yep. I can highlight, I can change the font color, I can, what is this? This is the background. Oh, that's the font color. I can change the size to small, medium, or large. So I could, we'll unstrike, and we'll say large font. So this will be a large blue font. We can click this, and I can change it to large so that we could see, well, if I would probably help if I did that, but we can see the ways that I can work through this. We can also create lists within here. So this is also, we can add tables here. We can add links. We can do quotes. We can do numericals. It's a pretty great way to communicate within group chats because you're not always just sending one lines or multi-line text. You might have to do some formatting. There's also this next one would be an exclamation point, which is an urgent. So you could have the standard, which is the standard, and it's just a message that'll be sent as usual to your group. But then you can do important, that will add this little exclamation point, or you can also do urgent, which will be, as you can see, it gets a little bit annoying maybe, but recipients are notified every 2 minutes for 20 minutes until they take a look at it. So if you really want somebody to look at something, this little tool right here is a good way to hunt someone down. So look at me, and that's going to just kind of go off until those members come by, and they'll get these alerts here in the activity bell, or they'll get them in the pop-up as we go. The next one is this paperclip. That's how you would attach a file. Now you can upload one from the computer, or you can choose from a OneDrive, and all files in a chat or a group chat will be held in this files environment, which it's important to note that the group chat files, whether they are individual or group chat, are all housed in the OneDrive in which the person who updated the file. So that's important to note. Next is this loop component, which loop is pretty cool. It's newer to Microsoft Teams, and so you can use this loop component where we could say, this is a list, and then we can have, and it's kind of like a way that members can all edit something together, like a list, or it's an ongoing collaborative kind of sticky note. So item 1, item 2, item 3. My team, we do use loop quite a bit actually for asking of who's doing what. So this is you can see who all is in it, who all is modifying it. You can copy it. You can reference it. This one is called the loop. This is a list. So I believe if I do at this is a list, or no, it's the loop component, right? If I hit loop component, then I can take a look at some of the other loop components that we have. So a bulleted list, syncing, loop list draft, can edit, choose who's able to do what. Let's see if I remember how to bring back this is a list. So the loop component, by clicking on it, what did this do? Oh, it brought up a wiki. Okay, interesting. I do know that you're able to grab these. It did save it to a OneDrive, so it's a wiki save to a OneDrive. This is a still relatively new one. I guess there it is. There it is. Copy the link, and then I could say this is the loop. And then there we go. And that will copy it back. So if it got way up in the chat, or you wanted to reference it again, then you use this little copy guy. You can add people or see who has access to it as well. So pretty cool little, basically a wiki within OneDrive. We've started using that a good bit for communication back and forth. Next one would be the emojis. So we can just send a smiley face, those are fun. You can add GIFs here, so we can say, the office, and we can raise the roof with Dwight and Michael. We can add stickers as well, which you can personalize them if you really wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to send the default one. You can do a calendar invite. So what this does is it's actually going to add those members. So I'm going to go back because I clicked a little fast there, but we're going to go back into Project X. This little calendar, it will create and schedule a meeting for the members. So it will automatically add these members here. And then I can go and I can amend the date and time and schedule it out. So that's a handy dandy little trick right there. The alternative, if you wanted to meet right this second, you can just click this voice call or video call up here. And that will act as a meet now. This one is stream, which is your videos. You can praise people. Praising is like sending through recognition to somebody. So if we wanted to recognize Joni, she says, this is a note. We can send that, and then it'll send the praise, which you can do that throughout Microsoft Teams, which I'll get into channels here in a second. The next one is approvals. So if we wanted Joni to approve something, you can create an approval flow, which actually runs. It's basically a Power Automate flow, but the name of the request is approve this. I could say the approver is Joni. I could change the priority from medium to important. I can say this is an approval, or whatever it is that I need. I can add a custom response, send to another environment, which is off right now, switch to a new view. I can add an attachment. Oftentimes we'll add like a document or something we're working on and say, hey, what do you think of this? And we'll send that. And that approval will actually go into, it'll actually go into their activity bell. So their activity bell, now you see it here into the group chat where they'll be able to approve or deny it. We can see who all is doing it. But if I was Joni, I would come up to my activity bell and I would actually see it in her approvals. We can go into that deeper into another video. Right now we're going to focus on the chat. You do have Viva Learning down here as well. And then updates. So that's the private chat. That's how private chat works. Now I'm going to get into another area of chat. And so that other area of chat here is the channel messages. And so channel messages are where work really gets done. And so a channel is an area of a team. And so channel conversations, they're public and they're visible to all members of a specific team, more specifically to a channel, as there are private and now public shared channels where you can start a conversation and make announcements or have post to multiple channels simultaneously. And you can chat with everyone on the team, and whoever pays attention to the channel will get those notifications, and you can at people as well. And so to look at this, we would go click on Teams, and then these are our teams. So we have our different teams. We have retail, sales and marketing, Contoso, marketing, US sales. So we're going to go into expand US sales, which has 3 different channels. Now, all of these channels are public channels to the team, that is. We know that because none of them have a lock next to them, and we know that none of them are shared channels, meaning they have external members, because they don't have 2 different boxes next to them. These channels are actually carry the same permissions as the team itself. So if we wanted to have a chat with the US sales, we can go to US sales East, and then you'll see a similar chat down here than we had in the group chat, except when we have to click new conversation, and now it pops up. Now, the only other difference is here is we have this Meet. So Meet would essentially be the same thing as video calling or voice calling, and then we have schedule a meeting up here as well. So we're able to schedule a meeting with the entire channel. Now we'll go ahead and click new conversation. Now, it does look a little different. There are a couple functionalities that are out. Like I said, the calendar is now up here under Meet. But the rest of them are the same. So we have the general standard chat. We have a new conversation in terms of formatting where we can make an announcement. And now announcement is going to be, it's going to change the way that it shows up in people's activity. So we could say, this is a headline. And then this is a subheader. And then this is the announcement. Now, notice the background here is blue. We can change the color so we can make it darker, or we can add an image, and this will prompt you to upload an image. I'm not going to do that. But you can do the same thing. You can format it since it is an announcement, and we can add bullets. And then that is a way, alternatively, than sending all hands emails or group emails where you get the reply all. This is the way that you can send out those announcements, and then when people do reply, they can reply directly to this. People can mute their conversations or mute their notifications, or mark as unread. They can do all kinds of different things, turn off notifications. So if you are using it as a way for mass communication, somebody can just simply turn off the notifications for that post, and then they will never have to worry about an all hands email ever again. Now we do see files here. Now if I were to add a file, it would be the same thing as me going into the file channel or tab here and adding a file, and then these files are actually uploaded to Microsoft SharePoint. So you'll see over here we have the different library views within the SharePoint library, because every team that's created is created with a SharePoint library. So whenever you add a file, it's actually added to the SharePoint files section, whereas the group chat and the private chats are added to, do you remember? OneDrive. Yes, you knew. We still have our emojis here, which we can add an emoji. We also have our GIFs, which will, go back to our friend Michael Scott. And then we do have stickers, which, I don't know what is this, a help desk? Okay. I'll add this little help desk sticker. We still have Stream here as well. Stream is a video platform within Microsoft 365. It is actually continuously changing. So there was a lot more you could do with it in the legacy or the classic view. They're kind of consolidating around. We'll get into Stream in another video. You can still add praise here. So we can name somebody. Let's see Joni. Let's see if she's in here. She's not here. Who all's in this team? There we go. Adele. Good old Adele. This is praise. And we did awesome last time. Let's see. We got a bunch of them in here. We could say she has a kind heart. There you go. And so there I published the praise, and now it is published. Other people can go in here and love it if they want. We do still have some of the other ones. So we have Viva Learning, which is a training platform through the Viva platform and the Viva collection of applications, which I will go into Viva in another video. And if we hit this little 3 dot, it'll show some other connectors that we have. Looks like we have Forms and Power BI as a part of this channel as well, where we can add other apps if we want in going into the App Store. So that is how you use the different communications. I'll show you one more thing here in US Sales East. Now I did just a general conversation. I can @ members. So now notice that we have people, but we also have this little group right here, right? So this little group, Virginia Sales Team, is a little different. So the way that these are actually called tags. And so tags are groups within channels or within teams that we create. And you manage these through manage tags. So if I click on these 3 dots and I go to manage tags, it's going to bring me to the settings around US sales. And then here you can see that I have a Maryland sales team and a Virginia sales team. I can create a tag and I could call this the Washington DC sales team, and then add a little description, and then I can add anybody who's in here. So I don't know who all is in here, but there we go. And I can create that. And now instead of having to tag those members, it looks like it didn't add a description. Let me add a description here. Edit the details, add a description, Washington, DC sales team, just so we can see it. Tag name. There we go. I saved it. Now we'll go back. And now we see it matches the description matches. So now if we went back into US Sales East, which that's DC's on the East Coast, if we were to @ Washington, then we have our Washington DC sales team, and we say this is a test. And then by sending that, if I hover over the Washington DC sales team, it's going to show me who all is in this. Now, this is an interesting feature here where it says chat with group. So if I wanted to take the chat outside of the channel, I can click that, and this is actually going to create a group chat with those individuals, which I can then say, hello, DC team. And then after doing so, it's going to change it, and I can call this Washington DC sales team. And then now I have a private chat with my team. Now, there are some instances where you would want to do this private chat. Maybe you want to take it out of the US East, but I prefer to, whenever you're having group conversations like that, to just have it here in the channel so that everybody else can be up to date and up to speed. It increases accountability. So that is your chat functionality. That's really what we're going to get into in this video. Like I said, Microsoft Teams does have some additional capabilities, collaboration, apps and workflows, meetings and calls. We're going to get into those in a different video, but I wanted to go over the chat functionality here within the Microsoft Teams application in this video. So we will get into the additional functions in a later video, but for now, I'm going to take my PJs to bed, and hopefully you guys got a lot out of this video. So if you would, please like and subscribe, leave a comment. If you have any questions or concerns or anything you want me to review, leave that in the comments section and I'll make a video just for you. We do have a podcast, the Work Wherever podcast. So if you guys are needing some help or you're new to the remote world, check us out. We do have a playlist on this YouTube channel that goes over the Work Wherever podcast where you can catch up on all previous episodes with Sydney and I. And then we do have Now 365, which is Kimmy. She posts them every Tuesday, which she goes over the Microsoft Center and all of your updates so you can stay up to date on all of the latest happenings within Microsoft 365. So guys, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the time, and until next time, guys, see you. Hey there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for all the latest videos from Capital Presence.